Hello, welcome to another episode of Misty Bay. This is episode 7. So we're on our way to a big town here. This is our goal for today. Get to a big town and get our next little town started. This will allow us to develop more evenly across the map. Man, this is a beautiful world we have created here. So we're just waiting for population to fill in so we can hit the milestone there. We'll extend this grid out, get another block in and see what the idea is. So these are 1500 grids. This is a trick that most people do. I watch lots of YouTube, specifically like, Sardis and Bifa. I really like to use the dollars to determine road length and measurements. There are so many YouTubers. I used to watch this one YouTuber, I can't even remember his name, unfortunately, but he was such a good YouTuber. He would build realistic continental America settlements and build them up into traditional modern cities. And he'd go through right from Native American settlements right up to the first European settlements. So we're going to redraw this road so it's more of a straight access. We're going to deprioritize the movement we had created there, which is fine. We don't care. This is the beach road, so it's a secondary highway. Not really the priority movement. It's just to get to the beach end of town or whatever, water side of town. So maybe we'll draw another subdivision in here. I think that might be a good idea. It'll help us get to this milestone quicker. So like I said, this is how I like to do my subdivisions, gated communities. I like to put one entrance for each surrounding road. It's your world though. You are free to do it however you feel. There's no right way. Each way just gives you a new outcome that you have to deal with, unique to the way you develop. There's no right way. No right way. I just think I'm killing more than one bird with this one stone here by developing this one. That's all, because I'm not thinking about the future, but this kind of design has future in mind when you're planning it. Because you're taking a lot of strain off the roads around it. And again, we're not necessarily planning for that, but that's what one of the results of this kind of development is. Good old Tim Hortons coffee here. Kind of disappointed with them, unfortunately. I rarely buy a coffee from them these days. That's not what we're here for today. We're here to just play a game and enjoy the freedoms of this game and our little world we're creating. This is another nice little subdivision. We'll put another little fence around it. So the key to these fences is to draw them as long as you possibly can. That's how you use the least number of nodes, in my opinion. I mean, I might be wrong. I don't have the node thing open to tell me how many nodes I'm actually using each time I put down a segment, but that's my opinion anyways. I think that there's only two nodes here for this one segment, because it's just one long segment with two nodes, one on each end. But I could be wrong. Not that we're worried about nodes, but that's unfortunately one thing we do have to think about in this game. It's just a game. As much as it's got similarities to real life, it's very realistic. It's just a game, so you don't have to follow real life when you're playing this. You can be on Mars. I've seen somebody building a Mars world. You can be in the future, you can be in the past. This game is so flexible. You can build any kind of city you want, really. And then add mods. Your city's ideas are limitless. I'm just a traditionalist. I like a traditional looking North American city. Specifically one in Ontario, North Atlantic United States, North Atlantic Canada, those kind of regions. That's where I take a lot of inspiration from. It helps when you're driving around to get inspired by the area around you. This is the easiest way if you're interested in building a realistic city. The world around us tells us a lot about things that little weird things, like patterns we can take notice of. Yeah. Maybe we'll put a little commercial down here on this corner. Could have put a park there, but because we've already got a big park down the street, we don't have to. A little bit of a water issue, so we'll get a water tower, I think, right here. Yeah, right here in the park. This is a common thing you'll see. It's called multi-purpose land, right? Multi-use. That provided just a little bit of water pumping. Because I don't think we actually have a water supply issue. I think it's just having a hard time getting over there. So a little water holding tank there. And this is turning out good. All these subdivisions right across the waterfront here. I'm going to try to put a lot of farmland in the middle here. We'll see how things go. It's just my plan, that's just my idea. It's always subject to change based on the needs of the city as they change. Let's get a few little happy trees around these subdivisions. Make them full and happy. Absolutely no stress, right? No stress here. We're here to get what we want, to play the game, and get what we want. Yeah. This is turning out good. These little gated communities are so pretty. Look at the view they have. What a mountain. So I've based the topography here on southern Ontario around the Niagara Escarpment. The Niagara Escarpment has a very defined mountain range in the way that they're formed. So it took a little bit of work to get the mountains in this world to reflect it, but it's all about just understanding. Once I understood how it looked and how it got there, I was able to redevelop it just the same way. The Niagara Escarpment is essentially debris from the Ice Age, from all the ice shifting down and pushing up the earth. So it's not really a mountain like a traditional mountain. Now this is going to be what's called a town line. So this is going to divide Riverton from the town on the next intersection. So that's Riverton's town limits on that road right there. Our city, eventually it'll be a city. City limits right there. This is one municipality. This whole map is a municipality. I mean a county. Made up of, I think, about four little municipalities, towns. I think ultimately that's what we'll end up with, is 4 towns. Riverton being a big city with its subdivisions creeping up on their city edge. And then 3 little towns just supporting the city. Excuse me, that's my vision. But things are subject to change. And I just think we hit our milestone there, which is perfect. This is the old country road before they put the prioritized highway movement in. This will be for farm development later. The farmers requested this to be stayed this way for access and convenience. I think I might just make it a 4-way intersection, hook it right into the intersection. It's going to be a little wonky, but these things happen. It's not going to be a really utilized road anyways. It's more, like I said, for farms later down the road. I want some easy access, and I want to make it easy. So like I said, this is our town line dividing Riverton from the town that's going to be over here, which we can now start. So let's get this tile. Let's buy it up. Yeah. Alright. So might seem crazy, but I want this road to be straight in here. It was a little bit off, so I want it 90, perpendicular to the highway. So we get a nice grid in here. I'm going to do a different size grid from Riverton. This is a different town, different surveyors. So this is what a Riverton grid looks like. 1500 by 1500. I don't want it this big. I think this is too big for such a small town in here. Yeah, it's too big for such a small little town. I think we're going to go probably half this size, 750 by 750. Yeah, I think this will be much better, 750. Be a nice little town, much smaller survey lines. This town here had no plans on ever being big, absolutely no plans on ever exceeding a couple thousand people living here. They built a small little survey system, small little grid. Absolutely no plans for anything crazy. Obviously, time will tell how they have to manage this in the future as things change. Excuse me. That Tim Hortons coffee makes you gassy. Oh, life. So we're getting a nice little grid established for this next town here. This is a very simple little 750 grid. We're not getting crazy here, not going overboard. So we're not going to plan this highway out any farther past the rail line at this point. We're just going to connect her straight up and not worry about it. Roads can be redeveloped. This is another reason why I'm using just dirt roads until things are more established. These dirt roads also help prioritize movement. So again, I think I'll put in a little buffer block here for the commercial. And set the commercial buffer block on this one instead of outset it like we did with Riverton. So we'll just give it a different look, completely unique look for this town. And this is what you will see in rural Ontario and rural northern Atlantic United States. You'll have all these little towns, and each town will have a slightly different grid based on where their starting location is. You get some really wonky country roads. Really wonky country roads. Sorry about that. Just had something bothering me there. Yeah, so like I said, we're gonna get a buffer for the commercial in here. This is why I chose to inset it rather than outset it, because the road is not straight here. The starting road is very wonky. Go. Got an inset on both sides now. I don't care about block side, the zoning size there, that it's been messed up. That'll just create some uniquer buildings there. Now, how am I going to zone this for residential? It's going to be a bit of a tricky grid system in here. It's more tight. Only 750, so it's gonna have some weird numbers. And because we've got insets here, I have to think about this differently. This will create a really unique and unconventional grid, I think. Tight, very tight. It's only 200. Through the middle as well. This is long. Oh boy. This is gonna be this is a little bit of a puzzle. We're not stressed. We don't stress. It's just a bit of a puzzle to figure it out. So maybe we'll change the inset so it's a little farther back so we can get a uniform grid in here. I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. This will have a different look. This is going to have a different look. This will not look like Riverton. That's what we want. We don't want it to look like Riverton. We want them to have similarities, of course, yes. We don't want them to look identical. They are different towns. They are not the same town. So we're going to give this a unique feel. An absolutely unique feel. So we're going to break this into thirds. I think we got it now. Gotta go up one there. Perfect. Yeah. Don't want to do that. See how this is creating a very wonky grid system. But that's okay. We are not stressed about this. We're just going to divide these blocks in half. They're too long. We don't want people having to walk a tremendous distance to find a way out. Drive a tremendous distance to find a way out either. I don't think this is going to work. I need to go one up. I need 200 in here now. this is gonna be too tight in the middle, isn't it? No, wow. Okay, actually, we'll go this way. There we go. And then get one in the middle. Right there. Oh yeah, these are only 300 now. 600, sorry. So we're gonna have to get it at 300 instead of 350. Figuring out how we want this to look. This might be the better way. I was thinking we'd break it into thirds, but that's actually the way I want it. Yeah, that was a little complicated, a little tricky. Absolutely no stress though. So it's 750, let's extend it out. Maybe we'll put a few more in here. This survey grid is going to look like. It does that. It likes to do that. It really likes to do that. It just likes to find a way to stress you out. We don't. No stress out here. Absolutely no stress here. We stress out, we get discouraged, and we don't want to play the game. And we come here to play the game, not to get stressed out. Not to get stressed out. So maybe we'll bring this all the way across. Yeah, just maybe. It gets easier once you have things established to keep drawing these lines out. So let's just bring it right across. So we're making some really crazy little country roads here now. See, the highway does not pay respect to the survey lines. It does not care. The highway does not care about our survey lines. And the survey lines don't care about the highway. Just keep drawing. Absolutely no stress. Absolutely none. We do not stress here. Absolutely no stress. We don't come here to stress. We come here to play a game, to get what we want. To get what we want. Figure it out. There we go. Always a stressor. But we don't let it stress us out. We don't come here to stress. Absolutely none. We're just drawing in a few little roads. There we go. And this is absolutely what you will see in rural Ontario, in most rural places in North America. These wonky little road systems from all the little surveyors from each different town. To meet up. It's funny, it's wonky, that's exactly what we want. And we didn't even plan for this connection, and that's just what happened. We didn't even plan for it. Absolutely no plan for that. I don't like this road here. I'm gonna get rid of it. So I think that gets us a good idea. That's gonna look really neat when it's all filled in. It's gonna have a much different look. It's gonna be fun to see these two towns collide into each other. and how they develop based on this road system now. You see how the highway just cuts right through grids? It don't care. It does not care. So let's get our power in here now, and water and other services, so we can start our town now. I'll just draw it all from this system over here. Eventually, like I said, we will have a consolidated power plant for the whole county. I'm not sure how each other's service is going to be consolidated. Some of them might be county services, some of them, like garbage, might be county services, others, like police, might just be town individually. We don't know yet. We don't know the needs of the town and what they're requiring of us. Usually schools are a county thing, so we'll probably not have to build many schools over here in this next town. We'll try to ship as many of them over to Riverton as we can. Consolidate it all in Riverton, let Riverton spend money on it. We'll just send them tax dollars. Don't worry this little town over here about building the infrastructure for schools yet. If anything, they might hit a public school. But that'd be it. One public school for this whole community. Ship them all into the city, to the bigger schools. Yep, and we'll eventually have a water treatment plant and a water pumping station all consolidated in the municipality or maybe the county. We're not sure yet. In the last year, not because of playing City Skylines, I've learned a lot about counties and municipalities and the different levels of government. Not that I didn't know before, but now I just know it in more detail. And it's really interesting, and I think it's really helped me play the game much better, understanding how these things work in real life, how the division of power is split up, and who's responsible for what. Really helps us plan out our cities. Knowing this kind of stuff. I mean, it's your city, you're free to do it how you want. This is just how I do it to get the outcome I'm looking for. There's no right way. I've studied a lot trying to figure out how natural development patterns happen in North America. So I can build North American-like cities naturally. I'm not trying to tell you how to do it. This is the right way or the only way. Just the way I like to do it. To get the outcome I'm looking for. And I'd suggest you do the same. Go and do research. Study the cities you want to build. Look at them and look at historical maps of how they started and where they are now. This is the only way to get a realistic outcome, is to do research. Watch YouTube videos of other people building city skylines. There is so many videos of people building real cities from real life. And it really, really does help to get an idea of how these cities developed. Now we're just waiting for things to develop, fill in. I'm not going to stress too much here. Our next goal now is for trains. that's our next goal. We really want trains. That's 12,000, so that's, I think, the next milestone. It'll be really fun once we get them. I kind of can't wait. Yep, so let's speed up time, get through this. Yep. Get some people moving in here. Get some businesses going. Let's extend the grid, the survey lines out. Survey system. So we can get a grid established. We're getting too crazy here. Getting too crazy. So because of the way that the map is positioned in terms of the tiles we're allowed to own, a lot of this coastline isn't actually going to be developed until much later into the city's development, which will create a very unique development pattern. And so I'm going to leave a lot of this forested along the front here. Because, that's the story. Maybe the town had a nature preserve society say, no, we're not allowed to develop anything on the waterfront. Maybe this is the story we're going to tell ourselves. This will maybe just a little story we have to tell ourselves to build these little rules in our head to build a unique little town and give it a story and an understanding of why it did what it did. So we have a nature preserve committee in our town that said, no, we must preserve our coastlines. We will never develop our coastlines, not even in the future. But we don't know the future, so they can't say that. By this, I mean I have the 25 tile lines installed, so this means that once we reach our final milestone, I will buy up those tiles and we will develop a coastline. It will enrage a ton of people, especially those who have historically been opposed to the development, and the town has probably been talking about this development for a long time because of the revenue it can provide. And it'll be really cool. It'll be really cool to develop it after the fact, after everything else has been developed. Maybe we'll get some real modern condos or something in there. Something, a real eyesore that towns would do. Go look at Port Elgin. They just destroyed their whole beachfront. Port Elgin in Ontario. They just destroyed their whole beachfront. Literally just destroyed it. And it's the biggest outrage right now in that town. I lived there for a very short time, and man, it was very heated. Very heated. Having a hard time keeping these grids 90. I mean, you don't have to. I'd really like to. And with a little patience, you're able to do that. Just like that, we have such easy grid to play into now, and we don't even have to think about it in the future. We're not thinking about it in the future now. No stress, no worry. We've got it in place, we just gotta fill it in, whether it be industrial, residential, commercial. We just say, okay, we need some commercial, we build a section off of one of these little survey grids. In the short term, we might get a dirty industry in here, some dirty generic industry in the short term. Just to get the job that RCI demanding that all of this will be probably redevelop. That's what I would think and say. I really want to see what this grid butted up looks like, so let's just keep filling in this survey grid system. I want this 90. Gotta make sure it's 90. My OCD is gonna say so. But no stress. Absolutely no stress. There's no rules here. There's only the rules you set for yourself. I'm not telling you what rules those are. I'm just showing you the rules I follow to get the results I'm looking for. This game is simple. Each time you build a new road, it's going to have a completely different outcome. A completely different outcome. Every road will impact your city completely differently. And this is why we can't get too stressed or worked up about future plans. Because as soon as you place down a new network, it could change the entire way your Sims use the roads. I'm not stressed about it, so that's why we put in this nice little, uniform, easy grid. Nothing stressful, something that's easy to build off of. So each town, like I said, will have its own unique survey system. The towns all started independently. They were not counties when they first started in North America. They were all independent settlements, and they all did their own work to decide how to break up the land. They all made their own decisions on what size each division's going to be. Each town had a different size in mind. It's really just based on a lot of people's thinking that is no longer alive, really. We're going to get a rough idea of where this grid's going into. I really like to see all these roads interacting along that town line there. It's really interesting to see. And again, the town line does not care about the grid. Just like the highway, the town line is the dividing road between towns. And it doesn't care. It does not care. It doesn't care. It'll cut right through the grids. It's actually cutting off both grids and mashing them together in the middle, which makes some really wonky little things happening right in the middle there. And eventually, when these two towns become a county, they're gonna change some of those county roads so they do meet up perfectly, and they're gonna create little weird S-bends and things. But that's okay. We don't care. So we're going to draw in a little bit of a buffer here, and we need to fill this industry. We have to fill this industry demand if we want to keep growing residential. So like I said, we'll probably get a few dirty industry, generic industry back here, and it will be all redeveloped. The town, we need to preserve our waterfront. And this is part of where the Preserve the Waterfront committee started. They saw that we were building all this industry along the waterfront here, and they said, if we let them destroy that forest along the coastline, they will just keep building dirty industry there, and before you know it, we'll have a dirty coastline with dirty water, with all the rubble sitting in it. So we need to stop them now. And that committee was formed to stop this happening, and actually is now active in trying to redevelop this industry, even though it just came in here. They don't want this industry here. But that's okay. This is life. They don't always get what they want. We get what we want. The people living in here rarely are always happy 100%. Some people get what they want, others are disappointed, and that's exactly what we want. We're not creating a perfect world here. We're creating a realistic world. That's what I'm looking for. Perfect worlds do not exist in the real world. There is always problems, even in cities that appear perfect. There is always problems. For example, crime. No city, no town has 0% crime. Even in the most strictest of places, there is still a small percentage of crime. There was always going to be that small group. So let's give this town a name. Hard to think of a name on this fly. Let's see. Well, it's on the way, so on the Watu. Yeah, on the Watu. And maybe it's got some Native American influence on the Watu. Just maybe. Maybe it's got a little bit of a Native American influence. Maybe north here, right about the base of the mountain, we'll build a little native reserve. Maybe. I don't know yet. But that's a good thought. It's a good one to keep in our mind, because that is very common here, especially in southern Ontario. There are quite a few native reserves that are little towns of their own that butt up right against another town, and they are independent little towns. However, they follow the survey lines of the towns next to them. It's very interesting anyways. Might create a uniqueness for on the Watu. Crazy little things we tell ourselves. Crazy little things. So let's build up a little bit of a waste management facility here. We have a waste problem. We can't get rid of whatever trash facility here, you know what I mean? Can't get rid of our trash, get a few landfills and a couple incinerators. We're emptying this, we want to get rid of it. We don't want it there anymore. We don't want it there anymore. We're gonna get one over here too, and the town absolutely is pissed off with this one. This is exactly why the committee was formed, to stop this kind of crap from happening. The town doesn't care about the committee. The mayor, probably always hated. They're changing out mayors probably frequently because of how much there's hate going on about it. Making the wrong decisions, they will say. Always going against what the people in the town want. We just laugh. This is our town, we gotta do what we gotta do. There was a death issue, so now we're gonna meet that, fill in some of the other services we require in this town that we haven't met yet. A little clinic, maybe a police station, get them a local fire station too. Yep. And like I said, we might give them a little public school, elementary school. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, this town's turning out good. It's turning out good. So you know what? I might leave that there for today. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. See you next time. Bye.